So I'm going to call this the Drake method, right? Why do I use Drake? Because Drake, if you think about it, he's been making music and relevant in pop culture for the last decade or so, right? He's been like doing this 10 years plus, maybe like 15 years or something. And even till this day, there's just like very few people who are relevant as Drake is in the culture for that long. Okay. It's just like kind of unheard of, right? It's like being like Michael Jackson's pretty much for our generation. And there are two main strategies that I kind of observe that he does in order to stay relevant in today's time, like constantly putting his name out there, right? So what are these, especially in a competitive market like pop music and rap music, which changes like literally every month. Like people have one hit wonders, they come, they're hot, then they're gone, right? But not him. Like he's like literally here. Everyone's trying to FUD him. Everyone's trying to say like, you know, he likes like little girls and stuff. And Kendrick's making these diss songs about him and he's still relevant. Like it never happened, right? So how does he do this? From a music perspective, I'm just gonna talk more about that. So the first is he takes samples from things in the past and he remixes them for today. Okay, very important. So if you know the song Hotline Bling, the sample actually came from the song Why Can't We Live Together by Timmy Thomas. Okay, so if you search this up and you just like watch the YouTube video of the sample, you will see that the melody and everything is the exact same one that he's using here. Now, for the average consumer, they don't know where the reference came from, nor do they care. They just hear a nice hit. They don't care about the history. They don't care about like this song came out like, 30 years ago. They just care that it sounds good now. So if you notice a lot of pop songs, if you look at the reference and the credits, a lot of them actually take things from the past, and it's because it works, right? It's like, why reinvent something new when you can take something that works, that people don't really know about too much, and just make it, like remix it for today? That's the key, right? So that's first, taking something old and bringing it back in style, right? Just kind of like, like before, like everybody was wearing like skinny jeans, and then now everybody's like wearing these jeans that are like this big, you know what I mean? And it's like your sneakers like right here, right? Whereas like this used to be like kind of lame, back when I was in high school, but now it's the coolest thing ever, right? So the trends come and go. So that's why these old things work all the time. And we're going to go into some YouTube ideas of like ideas that have been popular years ago that people are taking and they're using it now. Okay. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
All right, cool. All right. So next, we're going to talk about how Drake takes what's hot today, like from the streets, and kind of like uses it to his advantage, right? So if you know this guy, I love, I forgot to say his name, Mannequin, whatever. He had this song, Going Up on a Tuesday. You guys know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys know that one. Everyone knows it. It's hot, right? So this was like years ago, and basically Drake, basically took the rights to the song and made it his own, like legally, right? And he got paid, but he got paid more. So in the end, what happens is like Drake takes things that are hot and basically like catches the wave and then like uses it to his advantage. Okay, so this guy is like an unknown guy. Nobody knows who he is. He has a one-hit song, and you just take that idea and make it your own. It's very similar to a small YouTuber with 10,000 subscribers. His videos are getting like, 500 views, 1,000 views. And then suddenly one of them blows up and gets 100,000 views. And then what do you see? All the big creators find the idea, they steal it, they don't give credit, and they make it their own. All right. It's pretty funny because this guy, in the end, he works at a fast food place, right? Like today. So it's like, even though he had a big hit, like you can still fall off if you're just a one-hit wonder, right? So the difference between him and Drake is that Drake can constantly keep finding new ideas to be relevant, whereas just because you have one hit doesn't mean you have a career out of it, right? And that happens to a lot of small YouTube channels actually. They have one hit, they don't know what to do, they don't have anything to monetize, and then they just fall off and nobody hears of them again. And then all the big creators who are smart, they see this kind of stuff and they just take it without giving any credit. Title, thumbnail, idea, first 30 seconds. They might steal the whole thing, remix it, and then it's their own. That's the game that is being played. and pretty much every big YouTuber is playing at that level, and they don't care, right? They play to win. Okay. But you don't always have to fail. You can be like the Migos, right? So they had the song Versace, right? You guys know that one? Versace, Medusa hand on me, like I'm gonna, yeah, I mean, Migos wasn't that popular before. Not many people knew them, but they were popping in, I think, Atlanta, right? And certain subcultures. And then basically Drake takes what's cool in subcultures and makes it cool for the mainstream. See? So the Migos were smart enough to use that momentum to continue to build to become their own thing. But still, it's the same idea. Like Drake is constantly looking for these ideas, new ideas, fresh ideas. Doesn't matter who it's from. Like Drake might do a country song tomorrow if he felt that is what the masses wanted to hear, right? So it doesn't really matter where it comes from. It could be in your niche, it could be outside of your niche. It just, it's just if that's something that people want, okay? So is this making sense so far? Like you kind of get it? Okay.
Yeah. May I add one thing?
Mm-hmm.
Also, when you're talking about the songs being remixed, and I'm sure it's the same with content, there's only so many chords you can string together anyway to make a song, so it just makes sense to take something that was already made. Like, it's rare that you're going to come up with a brand new idea anyway, so I think this is a really good.
I 100% agree. So, in my opinion, there is no such thing as original. Everything comes from somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, for me, like I talk a lot about sales. It's like sales content, how to sell stuff, right? All the things have already been said. There's nothing I'm going to say that's new, right? Like people buy based on pain. Okay. Like, yeah, it's been like that for like since human history. So, so a lot of these ideas, if you understand how to look at the core things that make them like universal truths almost, you can steal those ideas and it's fair game, right? Like what's not okay is if you took someone's trademark, like they named something like the belief triangle. You can't steal that. But you can look at the belief triangle and look at the three things and say, okay, this one's pain, this one's this one's that. How do I have my own spin on that? That is fair game, right? So like if you read 10 books in a subject and you remix all the ideas and you came up with your own diagrams to explain everything, is it yours? Yes. Like legally, yeah, it is yours because you created the frameworks, right? So that's what you need to understand. Like, I'm not saying steal blatantly, but more look at the ideas, understand why they work, and take the core elements and just, put your branding and put your name on it. That's really the key. And I make diagrams up all the stuff. I'll just be like, oh, like it's a triangle, point 1, 2, 3. Like I just make it up on the fly, right? It doesn't really matter what it is. As long as the idea is good. Make sense? Cool. So what's the key takeaway of all of this, right? Number 1, take ideas that work in the past, remix them for today, right? Nothing is new anyways. Number 2, take ideas that are working now. So like new, hot, trendy ideas, remix them. The important part of this, I realize, is you need to make it feel like it's not the same as everybody else. Okay. It has to feel, keyword is feel, like they've never seen it before. Now, ideas have been done, like some ideas have been done to death. And if you want to use the idea, you have to kind of remix it, right? And I'll give you a perfect example. So